Hey everyone, welcome to a new video of Dart course. In this video, I'll show you what are different type of operators in Dart. So without any further delay, if you haven't seen the previous tutorials, kindly watch them because those are the building blocks of this tutorial. So without any further ado, let's get started. So here we have our void main method. So under my void main method, what I'll do, I'll try to show you different type of operator systems. That is, the first one is mathematical operator, relational operator, type test operators, and the final one is logical operators. So let's try to explore all the different type of operators step by step. So first of all, let's try to explain about what are mathematical or arithmetic operators, right? Both are the same. So here operators, easy. So here the different type of operators are nothing but simply plus, minus, multiplication and dividend. So what I can do, I can simply say, let's say int n1 is equal to 2, let's declare it, and let's say int n2 is equal to 4. Alright, so now with the help of operator, what we can do, I can simply say print n1 plus n2. Right, so it will perform all the mathematical operations beyond us. So let's clear everything, and let's say our same command for running our main.dart file, that is dart.run main.dart. So here you can see we will be getting our output of 6, that is 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Now the following plus is nothing but simply an operator. Operator does nothing but simply performs an operation over certain type of variables. So now this is nothing but simply our addition of two numbers. So what I can do, I can simply say here int sum is equal to n1 plus n2. Right, we can store the following value under a variable having a data type of int. Now here if I simply say print sum, I will be getting the same output. So here if I simply say print sum, and if I run our following command one more time, I will be getting 6. Now similarly we can perform other operators as well. That is, let's say int subtraction should be n1 minus n2. Right, if I simply say print subtraction, that is sub, and if I run the following command, you can see I will be getting minus 2 here because our n1 is smaller. So let's say n2 minus n1, and we'll be getting a positive output, that is nothing but 2, that is 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. Similarly we can move forward, and if I simply say here int let's say multiplication, that is mul equal to n1 into, that is asterisk n2. Right, so simply try to print our multiplication and try to run it. I will be getting my value, which is nothing but simply 8. Similarly we can perform this operation one more time for division. So here let's say division operation. So here for division, let's say our dividend sign. Alright, so now you can see our every division can be contain a decimal point. Right, so here I can convert my following integer under a double. This way I won't be getting any error, and if I simply print my value, I will be getting my value back, which will be 0.5. Alright, now if you have observed here, I have given the following variable type to be the data type to be int. Now if I simply say here a string, I will be getting a runtime error that n1 plus n2 will be an integer. That's why we cannot assign here a string. That is, we cannot assign here a string. Right, similarly I cannot make it a boolean. I will be getting the same error, that is n1 plus n2 is an integer, it is not a boolean. So if you are confident that the following output will be integer, only at that time put it integer. Else what you can do, you can assign it to be a variable. Right, if I run the following command one more time, there will be no difference, I will be getting the same value. If you are not confident over the output, simply put it variable or final. Right, in case, now I have already explained what is final, what is a variable, what is const, what is dynamic, etc. and etc. Right, so kindly watch the previous video if you want to know more about that. So these are different type of mathematical operators. Further going, there is also an operator for the modulus. So if I simply copy this thing and let's say mod, let's say for mod you have to use the percentage sign just like this, and let's say int mod, let's print it out, and if I simply run the following command, you can see you will be getting here 2, which will be your reminder, that is your modulus. Right, so these are different type of operators that we can use in Dart as a mathematical operators. Now let's move forward and let's try to explore about what are relational operator. Right, so let's have a heading here, second one of relational operator. right? So the different type of relational operators are nothing but greater than, lesser than, greater or equal to, lesser than equal to, etc. and etc. So right now what we can do, we can perform our operation, that is operators over the same two variables, right? So here I'll simply say a variable of is greater is equal to n1 is greater than n2 or not, right? Now pay attention that whatever output that you will be getting from relational operator will be always a boolean, that is greater will be always a boolean. So here if I simply say a bool, I will be getting no error, but if I simply say here print is greater, alright, is greater, I will be getting the value back, that is n1 is not greater than n2, so I will be getting the value to be false, right? I will be getting, alright, let me clear it out so you can see it clearly. I will be getting a value to be false because our n1 is not clearly greater than n2. But similarly, what I can do, if I simply say here is smaller, or you can define any sort of variable name, let's say is smaller, alright, I'll use the following smaller than sign, and if I simply print it out, you can see we will be getting the value to be true because our n2 is clearly greater than n1, that's why we will be getting here a true. Right, so now let's copy the variables and paste it here. So let's say here we cannot declare variable again and again, so let's say n3 and n4. Right, so right now we have seen greater than or lesser than. Now let's also try to explore about a variable known as equal to. So if I simply say here, alright, let's undo that, and if I simply say here is equal to, is equal or not. So if I simply say here the following variable is nothing but simply n1 is equal to n2 or not, right? Now clearly we can see both of them are equal, so let's say n3 here and also n4. Now if I try to run the following command, I will be getting the value to be true because n1 is clearly equal to n2. Now if I simply say here n4 is not 4 but 5, and if I run the following command, I will be getting a false because you can see, let me clear it out, and if I run the command one more time, you can see you will be getting a value of false because n4 is lesser than 5, that is 4 is always lesser than 5, not equal to 5, right? But if I simply say one more variable is not equal to, if I simply say a variable not equal to, and to declare it you can simply say not equal to, and if I try to print my not equal to, I will be getting a value of true because n3 is not clearly equal to n4, so the following value of boolean of not equal to, this one is clearly a true one, right? Now you can similarly use a variable known as greater than equal to or lesser than equal to. So to demonstrate that, what you can do, here I'll say n3 is 5 and also n4 is 5. Now if I simply say is greater or equal, let's say, alright, let's declare one more variable so you'll be getting a clearer perspective, is greater or equal, right? If I simply say greater or equal, you can declare it with a equal sign, greater or equal to. Now if I try to print it out, let's comment everything. Cool, let's comment everything and let's check this. So if I run the following command, you can see you will be getting the value of false, right? Because it is not greater or equal to. But if I simply say here lesser than equal to, alright, let's copy this and paste it here. Let's say is lesser, is equal, is lesser or equal, and if I try to run it, alright, let's try to use the n3 and n4, my bad, let's say n3 and n4, and now we will be getting the same result which will be true itself, right? You can see you will be getting true and true because n3 is, we don't know anything about greater or equal to or greater or lesser, but we clearly know both are equal to. That's why the following sub operator or equal to will be executed and we will be getting the value to be true itself, right? So let's comment out this thing as well and let's move forward. Now these are some basic things, so I won't be getting a deeper dive over this because this is clearly understandable, right? So now what I can do, we can go forward and we can learn about something known as type test operators. So to do that, we can scroll down and here I'll be adding a new heading which will be known as type test operators, right? Now what are type test operators? They simply determine if the value is or is not. To put it as perspective, what I can do, I can say int some number is equal to 12. Right? Now what I'll do, I'll simply say print some number is a special keyword, is int or not. Right? Now here you can see it is unnecessary because we already know that integer is some number. But as soon as I declare here it is a variable, and if I try to run it, you can see you will be getting a value to be true because we already know that some number is a 12. But if I say here it is a bool or not, if I run it out, I will be getting a false because some number is not a boolean but it is an integer. Now as soon as I make it false, VS Code will be automatically indicating us that you are doing something wrong. You already know that some number is already a boolean, and if I run it out, you can see you will be getting true. Now same thing goes for a not is, that is if I simply say here is not, and if I run it out, I will be getting a true because some number is not a boolean. If I clear it out and run it out, you can see you will be getting the value of some number is not a boolean. Easy. Now this is something that you should be paying attention while you will be writing some high level code, that is usage of the basic keywords, usage of basic operators. Right? Now you can use the same value here. Let's say some number 2 is equal to, let's say, false, and if I run it out, alright, some number 2, and if I run it out, you will be getting a false as well because some number is a boolean. It is not a boolean is false, but some number 2 is a boolean. Right? So these are type test operators which comes under is or is not. The following exclamation stands for not. Now these are type test operators. Now let's move forward and also let's explore about something known as logical operators. So for that purpose, what I'll do, the same thing, let's scroll down and let's add a new heading, for of logical operators. Right? So the logical operators are nothing but and, or, and not. So let's try to explain that. So here I'll simply say let n6 is equal to 10, and let's say integer and 7. Now you can add any sort of variable name. So here what I'll do, I'll simply say here check if alright, let's say boolean is alright, boolean, let's say sum. So here what I'll do, I'll simply say print n6 is greater than, let's say n6 is greater than 11 and n7 is smaller than 6. Right? So this is my print statement here, which will be saying me check if n6 is greater than 11 and along with this n7 is smaller than 6. Let's run it out, and now you will be getting an output to be false. That's because the following conditions are not fulfilled. Even though alright, so let's make this condition of n6 is greater than 8. We clearly know that n6 is greater than 8 because it is 10, and if I try to run the command one more time, still we will be getting a false value because the second condition is not satisfied. So here if I simply say here, let's put it under a variable, let's say boolean and operator is equal to this. Right? So if I simply say print and operator, let me clear it out and read out, you will be getting the value to be false because under AND operator both of the following conditions should be fulfilled, not a single one but both of them. Now let's try to explore OR operator. So here I will simply say OR operator, and for that purpose you simply have to write here the vertical lines which denotes the following operator of OR. Now let's try to print OR operator. Right, so let's try to run it out. Now you can see under OR operator you will be getting a value of true because under OR operator any of the conditions can be fulfilled and it will be showing the output to be true. Both of the conditions are not needed to be true, only a single one can be needed, which will be true or not, right? Now similarly, there is one more operator known as not operator. Now not operator does opposite of what these two operators will be doing. So to put it under perspective, what I'll do, I'll say not operator, boolean not operator should be equal to not under brackets, and I'll copy the same condition and paste it here, right? And now if I try to print not operator, let's say not operator, let's check the output, and the output will be nothing but simply the opposite of our AND operator. That is, if I comment this out, if I comment my OR operator and if I run it out, it will be doing inverse of AND that is the initial condition. The AND operator's value is false because n7 is not smaller than 6, but not operator will be doing inverse of it, right? It will be giving a false value first, but using an not operator, it will be inversing the whole criteria of our AND operator or any sort of operator. That is, if I simply say here, instead of the following condition, we can also put OR operator, right? Now if I simply say here, the OR operator is giving me true, but if I try to print it out, I will be getting a false now, because not operator will be doing exact opposite of the particular operation. If OR operator is giving me true, not operator will be doing its opposite, that is, it will be giving me a false value. Now these are logical operators. We use most of them under our loops, that is under our for loops, if else loops, etc. and etc. Right. Now these are different type of operators that we use under Dart: mathematical operator, relational operator, type test operator, and logical operator. Now learn about them by heart because these are the basics. Now there is a deeper type of operator, but whatever thing that we actually need for Flutter, I will be only telling you that, not any rubbish things, right? So this was all for this video. Kindly practice hard over what are different type of operators, because those are mostly used under production code, right? So till then, if you are not following me, go to my Instagram, follow me there, and I'll see you in the next one.